Welcome to the Finding Joy in the Journey podcast. This is Sheridan Ripley from Enjoy Life. I am a wife and a mother of 3 boys, ranging from 22 down to 14. I'm also an author of 5.5 books. I love teaching my online classes, and I also enjoy one-on-one coaching and emotional clearing. I'm so excited you joined me here today as I'm going to share some tips and tools to help you find joy in your journey through life. Today, I'm going to be focusing on using routines, rhythms, and rituals for powerful results. I start each year by hosting a Finding the Word God Wants for You for the year challenge. This year, God gave me the word routine. I thought that was a pretty boring word, but I accepted the challenge. I created some good routines and was in a good rhythm with them. Then I actually came across the word ritual and started delving into that and realized I wanted some rituals too. So I changed some of my routines into rituals, which helped motivate me to do them. And then COVID-19 came upon us, and I found a lot of power in those routines and rituals and created new routines and rituals and rhythms to help us survive this new time of spending a lot of time at home. I hope by the end of this episode, you'll be motivated to create a new meaningful routine, ritual, or rhythm in your life. As you see the power it brings to you, I hope you will continue to create more. I feel like routines help you to get things done. When you make routines into rituals, they help motivate you to do your routines, and then rhythms help to keep you balanced and know what to expect. Daily routines are so important because you will never change your life until you change what you do every day. It's very important to set up daily routines that create what it is you want. I think that secret sauce is actually your daily routine. So let's talk about creating daily routines. When I started making routines for my babies when they were born, like a couple weeks old, I first watched them and actually wrote things down, like when do they fall asleep, when do they like to eat. And it was amazing how they actually kind of had their own routine, I just didn't see it. Once I became aware of it, then it was easier for me to create a routine around their routine, and then kind of together we could shift it to something new in a very gentle and kind way. I'm all about little steps, so that worked well for me. So I think it's the same for routines as in other areas of our lives. First, observe what things you already do and when you do them. Then question, what is it that you want to create? What maybe do you want to add or delete? For me, it's powerful to write it down, to like spend a day writing down what did I do today, everything. And then go back and look, oh, did I really need to spend an hour on Facebook? I don't know, it's like, what do I want to create? What maybe could I take out? What maybe I used to love reading. Maybe I could add reading a book in that time instead. So kind of question what it is you're already doing. Some ideas around creating daily routines, things we can create routines around: meals, creating a spirit time every day, cleaning your house, doing schoolwork, exercising, free time, even creating routines on your podcasts, right? Or your computer time. Then once you've kind of thought through some ideas, schedule it, write it down. What do you want to do and what order do you want to do it in? It doesn't have to be down to the minute, more of a basic schedule or a block schedule. I love block scheduling, and hopefully I'll do a podcast on that soon. Then once you've done that, I want you to try it for a few days and then adjust as needed. You might have written down, I'm going to do my spirit time after breakfast, but you realize, oh, that doesn't happen. So maybe you're going to adjust it and do it right when you wake up in the morning. I think when you take all these things together and are willing to be flexible with it, then after about a week or so, you'll come up with a pretty good routine that actually works and you can maintain. I'd also like to talk about micro routines. Maybe you already have a good basic routine, then you can start looking at micro routines to help streamline things. So the example I'm going to give is making smoothies, how I kind of micro routined it. The first step is to pick out a daily activity, something you do every day. It could be making smoothies. It could be like washing your face at night, that routine, or the bedtime routine for your kids, something like that. Then you're going to write down all the steps that it takes. This doesn't have to be fancy. Just write it on a scrap piece of paper. Like I have to gather the ingredients. I have to gather the mixer parts. I have to actually blend it. And then I have to clean everything. I have to get stuff from the fridge as well as the cupboards, right? Once you've written it down, look how you could maybe consolidate it. What steps could you put together or materials that you could put together? Is there a timing aspect that might help you do it more efficiently? Like maybe when you're washing your face or putting your mask on, you could brush your teeth while your mask is drying or something, right? Like how could you consolidate? And just kind of writing it out, seeing all the steps, you can figure it out. For me, what I realized is I could get a basket and put all my non-refrigerator ingredients in one basket. First, I practiced it a few days and I only had my basket for my not refrigerated stuff. And it was so great. And then I'm like, wait, I could put a little basket in the fridge for my refrigerated stuff too. It just made it better. So you can make changes as you figure out what works and what doesn't. And then enjoy it. Enjoy your new routine and the time that it saves. It just feels good to kind of have a routine, a set way to do things. Makes things go a little bit smoother and faster usually. So remember, your routine creates your results. This is why it's worth the time and energy to create a routine, because then you are creating the results you want. An example that I will share is I had written out our morning and afternoon schedules, what I wanted to do each time. And what I realized is that we're not really great as a family at doing after meal routines. What I did is we created an after meal routine and I wrote it all out and hung it up. I'm like, guys, we're going to work on this together and we're going to try and do this after every meal or for sure after dinner before we do anything else. Put away the food, put the dishes in the dishwasher, clean and put the pots and pans away, and then wipe down the counters, tables, stove, and sink. And we all kind of have a different chore. But the thing is, it takes practice to make progress because our natural routine was just to like leave everything and go about doing our different activities. Then at night, I'd be so tired and it would cause a little bit of contention, right? Because I'd be like, you got to do the dishes, Anyway, what I learned is that if we practice this together and we call it something fun, because, after meal routine sounds super fun, then it's easier to say, oh, guys, we have to do our after meal routine right now versus, okay, you put away your food, you do this, you do that. It just kind of makes it a little more streamlined and everyone knows what is expected because it's written out. All right, let's talk about weekly rhythms and how that gives context to our time. As I record this, I'm in the middle of staying at home, sheltering in place, and so time is so totally weird for me right now. And my weekly rhythms really do help me to have a little bit better understanding of where I am in time and space. This can look like different things. So for instance, we used to only watch TV not on a school night, but now we're watching media a little bit more at night because we just need a break. And so what we did is we have a TV night, a movie night, a documentary night, as on a weekly schedule. We have it written out. We used to do this before things were streamed. Those of you who are old enough knew like Thursday nights was Friends on TV. Like that's when you watch Friends. You couldn't just watch it anytime. And it created a rhythm to our lives. My boys went to a Waldorf-inspired charter school and rhythms were a big deal there. And it was very soothing and comforting to know what to expect every day of the week. Food is a great way that they did this at school. When they were in kindergarten, like one day was soup day, one day was quinoa day, but it was always Monday was quinoa. I think Wednesday was soup. So we can do this as well. Like we could have Mexican night or pizza night, but if you have it the same night every day of the week, like if pizza night's always Friday night, it's this little guidepost in your week that feels good and familiar and brings a lot of peace. That's another way you can create rhythms. Also like homemaking, like you probably have a garbage day the night you bring the garbage out. I have a day when I clean my humidifiers every Monday. That's when I clean the humidifiers and I try to do laundry on Tuesday, go to the grocery store on Wednesday. And I'm not saying you have to do all of these things. I'm suggesting maybe pick one that you want to try and create a rhythm to see how that feels, if that brings power into your life. Also activities like church on Sunday, hiking on Saturday, choir on Tuesday, or whatever. Just having those days that have certain things that you know to expect is powerful. Let's talk about rituals, because this was again, I was kind of not excited about the word routine, but ritual got me super excited. What I found being home all the time, a lot of my routines have gotten really boring. Like I started getting irritated by them. It occurred to me that I needed to recognize the ritual aspect of these routines, because when I had that, then my routines became a comfort instead of irritation. So a ritual is not just a habit or a routine. Rather, it's the repeated actions of a habit or routine plus one of these 5 things. Either a symbol, intent, ceremony, awareness, or meaning. And that's what makes a habit or a routine a ritual. One of my most important routines is my MPoWeR routine, which is how I maintain my spiritual connection, where every day I meditate, I pray, I write in my journal, I read scriptures, and I exercise and I serve others. Michelle Craig said this: use your agency to carve out time every day to draw close to God's voice. Pick a time and place to keep the sacred appointment with exactness, for so very much depends on it. I was getting bored with my MPoWeR routine, and when I reminded myself of the meaning of it and the symbol of it, dedicating that time every morning to connect with God and connecting with Him, that meaning and power that it could bring to me, it became a ritual, something that kind of reignited my desire to do it, that motivation. So I needed that motivation. So that reminder that doing my MPoWeR every morning is a ritual. It's not just something to do each morning. It's for moments of intention, connection, gratitude, communing with God, grounding and shielding, so that I can have more peace and stay calm and stay sane. That's what motivates me to get up and do it every day, even if I don't want to. I'm like, nope, I'm going to do this. This is important. It has meaning. Meaning and comfort can hide in repetition. Awareness can make something a ritual. You could have a symbol. For instance, when I moved to this new house, I didn't love that we're up a mountainside and it snowed, and it was I was having trouble adjusting to it. So I started to say a poem. I'd park in the garage and go outside and say a poem to the nature when I got home. It was like really short, probably a 20-second poem, but it was the symbol that I was giving to the land and to my house, saying, I'm grateful to be here. And it was this little ritual that made me feel grounded in our new home. Having an intent, why do I do the MPoWERs every day? My intent is to connect with God, and that makes it a ritual, having that intent. Ceremony. So I love doing things the same way as a ceremony, in a sense. So when I talked about my micro smoothie routine, I make it like a ceremony, in a sense that I'm putting love in this to bring health to my family. And as I'm scooping the things in, it's like a little ceremony of making something with love for my family. So it's not something crazy, a big ceremony where I sing and dance. No, it's just as I'm scooping, to me, that's a ceremony of a little proportion that makes my smoothie making a ritual. Awareness, having awareness of why you're doing something. When I clean the humidifiers, which is kind of a boring routine, if I have the awareness that I'm bringing better health to my family, it becomes a ritual and it becomes something that motivates me to do it. And then that meaning. So my husband loves to go on hikes. My youngest son and I, we don't always love going on hikes, but when I remember that when we go have these fun family day experiences, it definitely increases our connection and love, and that can make that hike a ritual. And then that motivates me to do it. So look for ways you can take routines in your life. Maybe you have something in your life that you need to do, and it's maybe a little boring or you are resistant to doing. See if you can add a symbol or find the intent or create a ceremony feeling around it. Have some new awareness or give it meaning so that it can become a ritual instead of just a routine. So right now, if your life is different than it used to be, maybe you can create a special routine or rhythm or ritual to help you deal with something that is new. Or maybe as we shift back into our normal, quote unquote, normal life, maybe you're going to have to come up with a special routine or rhythm or ritual to help you adjust to that as well. Routine is key and powerful. Routine, rituals, and rhythms can bring you a lot of power in your life. So harness them so you can use those routines to help you get things done, rituals to motivate you to do your routines, and rhythms that will help keep you balanced and know what to expect. This week, if you sign up for my newsletter, you will get access to my MPoWeR class for free. And that's my spiritual routine that I do every day and that you can do too. And it will take that spiritual routine up a notch and bring you such joy in your journey. Thanks for listening today. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe so you never miss a tip or a tool. And I'd love it if you would leave me a 5-star review if you loved it. And please share with your friends so that they can enjoy too. Enjoy!